Hello, how you doing? Welcome to another John Does Flow video. I am going to be showing you a couple of things today. They're going to be split over two parts, two videos. They are both going to involve Power Virtual Agents for Teams, and the first one, we're gonna basically look at passing responses or questions from a Power Virtual Agents chatbot through Teams through to Luis, which is a language understanding information service in this first part, and then in the second part we'll look at Q&A Maker, and I'll kind of explain the differences between the two. We need to make sure that we have an Azure account, so go to portal.azure.com. You can sign up for a free account for 12 months, or if you've already done that, you can sign up for pay-as-you-go. I believe at the time of doing this, Luis and Q&A Maker are free services. You then need to create a resource group, click resource groups, and then add and give it a name, associate it to your pay-as-you-go subscription and the location that you're in, and review and create. Now, I've created a resource group for both the Q&A Maker and Luis already. So the next thing we're going to do in this video is we're going to go and start with Luis. So you go to luis.ai and sign in with the same account. It will ask you to create an authoring resource using your pay-as-you-go or free subscription with Azure. So just click create. Choose the resource group that you want to create it under. Give it a name, and make sure it's in your nearest location. Yep, click done. Okay, so next we want to create new app, and we're going to give it a name, and we're going to be passing responses from Power Virtual Agents to pull information from a Microsoft list. We'll get to that in a second. We don't need the prediction resource, and we're just going to click done. Okay, so we can close this. So what we have here is the intents page. So the intents is the thing that you're going to be doing or looking up. So in my example, and we will quickly build this now because then you'll see we're in Microsoft List. Then we're going to go to new list, and this is where we're going to hold the intents and the responses. We're going to open it from Excel, go into here, get test, go next, and yep, that's fine. Click next, click create, and you see here we have on the left hand side birthday and name, and the responses to if those intents are used. So what we need to do now is back in Luis, we need to create an intent called birthday and an intent called name. So we go create birthday, and then we need to think of some natural language to ask to basically help train the model to know what intent to use when the question is asked. So when is your birthday? How far away is your birthday? And basically you want to build that up. You want as many of these as possible. In a live environment, you probably want maybe 20 to 30 example user inputs. We'll go back to the My Luis page again. Go back into here, and then we'll go create again, and this one is called name, and what is your name? What do I call you? Do you have a name? Anyway, that kind of thing. And then we are going to train the model, and we can test. So test. And what it's going to do is that it's going to look at the utterance, which is the question that the person is going to be asking, and it's giving you a score that of what intent it's going to use, and this score is out of 1. So 0.92 basically means 92% chance that it's going to be choosing the name intent, which is what we want. So we'll publish that. We publish it to a production slot, and then we need to jump back into Azure. We're going to go in cognitive services. We're going to click add, and we're going to search for language understanding. We're going to choose this one here. We're going to click create. We're going to put it in the resource group Lewis. We're going to give it a name and location. Again, the nearest place to you. It's a free pricing tier. Prediction location is going to be UK South. Free and review and create. There we go. So we go to the resource. And now we're inside the JDF Lewis Test Cognitive Services resource, and we're going to need some things for the keys and endpoint. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into Teams, and we're going to go to chatbots. Just wait for that to load. New chatbot. Select a team that it's going to go into, and then we're going to give it a name and click create. This can take anything from like 2 to 3 minutes up to about 5 minutes or so. So don't worry if it's not working, or it seems to be taking a long time. Here we go. So what we need to do now is we need to jump back into Q&A Maker and go into Azure Resources and link that with the resource that we've created in Azure. That's going to pull over the primary and secondary keys, which are then going to be the same as the primary and secondary keys in Azure, and we're going to need those later on when we set up the connection. Great. So what we've got then is a basic chatbot. We've got some topics that come out the box, like a greeting topic and that kind of thing. Now you could build your own topics here, but what we need to do is we need to pass the questions that are being asked from the chatbot through to Lewis. So what we need to do is create a fallback topic. So down at the bottom here, there's a cog. Click on the cog, go to System Fallback, and go to Add. And once you've added that, go to fallback topic, and we can delete this, and we can delete this, and we're going to click on the add button, and we're going to call an action, and we are going to create a flow. And what we want to choose is this first Power Virtual Agents flow template. So basically we're going to get something from Power Virtual Agents and pass something back. So the input is going to be a question, and we are then going to go to Lewis, and we're going to get a prediction. We want the app ID, so we're going to go into here, go to settings, so we're in manage settings in luis.ai, copy the app ID. So when you first set this up, you need to give it a name, so let's give it Lewis test 4321. The API key. The API key is going to be in Azure Resources. After you've added the prediction resource, there's the primary key, and that can also be found in here. It's the same key here. Paste that into the API key, and then really importantly, although it's not required, which I think it should be, you need the prediction endpoint, and the prediction endpoint is if you go into Lewis again, there's the endpoint URL there. So we're going to copy that and go back to Teams, paste that in, click create. Now the app ID, we are going to get that from the settings page inside Lewis, and it's here, so copy that, paste that in there. Sorry, enter custom value, paste that in there. The what we're going to predict, and that's the utterance text that's being supplied from Power Virtual Agent, so that's the question value. And then we are going to connect to our Microsoft list, so we're going to use get items, and we are going to go to the site, which we will get the URL from here. So that's all the way up to the list part of the URL, and we are going to go enter custom value, paste it in there, choose the test list, and then show advanced options, and we need to do an OData filter query. And what we need to do is we need to pass the top intent from the get prediction step to the get items part and bring back the response. So this will make sense after I've written it. So title equals, we need speech marks, and then we need to choose top scoring intent name. So we're going to ask a question. It's going to go through the prediction model of Lewis. It's going to and look at the compare the utterance to the intent, and then bring back the record inside the Microsoft list, which equals the top scoring intent. The title equals the top scoring intent. And then what we need to do now is pass back the response value from the Microsoft list back to Power Virtual Agents. So we are going to initialize a variable, and we're going to call it response, and call that's a string, and then we're going to set a variable, and that is, we're going to set the response variable, and the response is going to be the response field from the SharePoint Microsoft list. Okay, and then we're going to return that back to Power Virtual Agents. So Lewis response, and the value of that is going to be the response output from the response variable. And then we're going to give that a name. So Lewis main, and we're going to save that. And again, make sure that you do save it. Make sure you can see it saving here. I've been caught out before where I think I've saved it and then I've clicked back and I've lost it. So that's saved, that's great. So we're going to go back out there. We're going to come to this fallback topic. We're going to delete what we have here because we don't need this. We need to configure it again. So we're going to call an action. We're going to choose our Lewis main flow. We need to pass it whatever is being captured in here. So that's going to be from the unrecognized trigger phrase. We're going to click there as well, and then we are going to show a message, and we're going to respond with the Lewis response. And then we're going to save that. And if we quickly look back at our list and look at Lewis, so if I ask the question, what is your name? Let's have a look. There it is. So there's a few things there. What is your name? What can I call you? It should relate that to the name intent, and then come to the SharePoint list, look at the title, see that the utterance is the same as the intent is the same as the title, and bring back my name is Dave. So let's have a try. Hi. What is your name? Excellent. And there you go. When is your birthday? There you go. Great. So what's important to note here is that these questions are being handled because it doesn't know what this response is. I haven't set up a topic for it, but this bit here, this hi, that is part of the greeting topic, and the greeting topic is one of the out the box topics that come with Power Virtual Agents. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. I will be talking about the limitations of Microsoft Lists and and using Q&A Maker instead of Lewis in the next video. Please check that out. Thank you. Bye bye.